Hi, those that are looking slightly closely will notice that I'm not Mitra Sorrells. So it's Kevin here from PhocusWire. I'm back. Mitra sadly has some connection issues at her end, just to prove that we are live with the vast majority of our sessions here. But bear with us. I've got the notes, so we should be cool. So AnyPlace is a startup that's kind of straddling the worlds of both travel and real estate, I think it'd be fair to say. So joining us to explain more about that is the founder and CEO of AnyPlace, Steve Naito. Thank you so much and welcome. Apologies that I'm not Mitra Sorrells. So I understand you created AnyPlace in 2017, in part, I believe, because it was of your personal frustration with long-term contracts for housing and the need to arrange utilities and furnishings and things like that. So tell us a little bit about your thinking around that. And in particular, you always require a 30-day stay. So pretty much everything else is handled. Is that right, Steve?
That's correct. First of all, thank you for having me. And then welcome back, Kevin. I'm joining this live broadcast from one of our own units called AnyPlace Select. I'm front of, standing desk, large monitor, mic, webcam. But anyway, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we are focusing on more than 30 days plus marketplace. And then the target audience was younger generation, people who don't want to commit to a long-term contract and digital nomads. So actually, I'm one of them.
Okay.
And
so
then, go ahead.
No, please, Steve. Can you briefly explain how you get your inventory for the platform? Then, what's the process that you go through?
So there are two processes. Inbound and outbound. So we have a great partnership team. So they do outbound call, and then if we usually work with hotels or vacation rental properties or furnished apartments, and if they wanna provide their accommodations more than 30 days plus with discounts, so we can list them on our platform. And our business model is commission model. We usually take 10% commission each transaction. So that's our model. And then most of them, we acquire, through inbound. So they, found us, through organic search or SEO, and then they register with us. And then we are a B2B marketplace. We only work with professionally managed properties. So we bet, our partners' properties. We don't work with any, individual properties like Airbnb.
Okay. So, how has your target audience shifted, or indeed, as it may have expanded due to, the crisis that we've all been living through over the last nearly 20 months now?
Yeah. So again, our initial target was younger generation, people who don't want to commit to a long-term contract, and also digital nomads. But one of the interesting trends caused by the pandemic is that many people have become digital nomads without having to quit their jobs, right? So before the pandemic, in order to become a digital nomad, you had to quit your job and start your own business in order to earn an income. So many people became freelancers and started the nomadic lifestyle. However, now that large companies, including Facebook and Twitter, have allowed their employees to work remotely on a permanent basis, they have been able to start work from anywhere lifestyle without leaving the company. So this is a major paradigm shift in the way people work. So we have shifted our focus to how to optimize our products and how to attract employees who work for big tech companies like Google and Facebook.
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, you referenced it right at the beginning there. You launched a new type of property, which is called AnyPlace Select, provides a complete work from home setup, desk, microphones, webcams, green screens. I don't know if you're using a green screen today, but so you said you're starting in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York City. But we keep hearing that people who can work from home are more interested in kind of getting out of the big cities. So why have you picked big cities to start this in?
Good question. First of all, people coming back to urban cities. So we decide launch destinations based on the demands of customers. And then many people coming back to urban cities, but they don't want to commit to a long-term contract. And then they might work from, LA, warmer place during the winter season. And probably, they want to work from a month or 2 months, from New York, like, urban cities. So we started, in those urban cities, but we are planning to expand, other locations too, based on demand.
How do you, on this particular point, I'm interested. I mean, you have picked cities, but where do you sense that people that don't want to use AnyPlace Select in a big city, where are they going to gravitate to? I mean, you think of places I don't know, like Lake Tahoe or the Appalachian Mountains or something. How do you decide where to kind of put some of those properties that are specifically targeted to this kind of nomadic lifestyle?
That's a good question. So as I mentioned that we started in urban cities, but step by step, through talking with our audience, to visitors, customers, we'd like to understand their demand. And then right now it's a little bit risky to expand into, those locations. I don't know, we are ready to launch in Tahoe, but I believe, there's a huge opportunity for those locations in the future. But now, based on our traffic and based on our customers' feedback, urban cities, there's a huge demand.
Sure. Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky said quite recently that looking at the notes here, a fifth of Airbnb's business is 30 days or longer now. And he expects that, and the company expects that to grow. Airbnb has a huge profile. You are still, I'm assuming, calling yourself a startup. How do you compete with a giant of that size if you're going after the same market?
Great question. First of all, I have a lot of respect for Airbnb, and they inspire me to start, AnyPlace, this business. The main difference between AnyPlace and Airbnb is that our product is optimized for long-term stays. For example, we offer a screening process for guests. We screen all customers who stay more than 30 days. We check their credit score, criminal report, and eviction history, and then only introduce qualified guests to our partners. And also, as I already mentioned that, Airbnb is C2C marketplace, while we are B2C marketplace, right? We work with only professionally managed properties. So our guests don't see a scam listing on our platform. So that's a differentiate, between AnyPlace, Airbnb. But AnyPlace Select is our new project. AnyPlace Select is the biggest differentiator of all. So we now we can control, quality of accommodations. We guarantee, work environment to our customers. So through AnyPlace Select, we will create more remote work friendly accommodation around the world. But Airbnb's marketplace, they cannot control, inventories, quality and experience.
Yeah, sure. So as we come up on our last few minutes here, then Steve, I mean, I sense that the way you grow and the way you get exposure to, the Googles and the Facebooks of this world, which are the high profile tech companies, but there are thousands of other companies with lots of employees. Do you think one way of growing is to forge partnerships with, for example, travel management companies who are looking at this trend as well? Is that a particular kind of growth priority for you, is to get those kind of agreements with companies that are doing all this already?
Yeah, so that's a good question too. We are considering partnership with, those companies and also relocation companies. And then in next quarter, we will reach out more, HR departments for those, large tech companies, Google, Facebook, and also startups. So we are planning to increase our enterprise sales, in the future.
Sure. And you're targeting people that want to stay at least 30 days or more, but they might want to move around. I mean, is there some kind of scope for a loyalty program in all of this, or is it just based on something else, do you think?
Yeah, we don't provide a loyalty program at this moment yet, But definitely, yeah, we are planning to launch that kind of program. But our customers are very satisfied at this moment, and then we will continue to improve our products as we get feedback from them. So that's the first step.
Okay, and last of all, then, Steve, I mean, you obviously firmly believe that this is a trend that is here for the long term, with this kind of people changing their lifestyles and wanting to stay in different types of places for prolonged periods of time. How does that inform your kind of priorities for the future and how you grow the business beyond just getting more inventory and getting more customers? What do you focus on?
Our top priority is to expand AnyPlace Select, that kind of accommodation.
Right.
We believe that remote work friendly accommodations will be the standard in the future. And then we launched AnyPlace Select to accelerate that future. By expanding select units in the United States and around the world, we are one step closer to our mission, make it easier for people to live and work where they want, when they want.
Great. Nice note to finish on. Thank you very much, Steve Naito, the CEO of AnyPlace. Wish you all the best for the future. And thanks for joining us on PhocusWire Pulse. Really appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you.